Serious, people who have a mental health disorder, what's something you want to tell those who don't? Anxiety here. I don't get to choose what I am anxious about. It really helps when you just accept the situation. My coworker asked if I was okay the other day, and I admitted I was having a panic attack. He didn't go OMG or try to fix it. He just said, "Oh okay, I didn't know you have those," and continued having a normal conversation, leaving it up to me if I wanted to explain further. It was an awesome way to respond because it let me maintain control, didn't force me into overthinking, and didn't make me feel like someone being pitied. We ended up having a good chat about it, and I really appreciate how he handled it. Most others either overly patronize or get upset for some reason, and that always makes it worse. Sometimes it takes a lot of energy to do little things. Just because I'm not feeling up to it today doesn't mean I'm lazy or unambitious or whatnot. Sometimes I'm just drained mentally and emotionally. I don't take antidepressants to be happy. I take them to not want to kill myself. Depression isn't sadness. If I had to describe it, it's like a constant feeling of despair, exhaustion, and lack of fulfillment. If I'm having a nice day, if I'm enjoying myself, please don't come at me saying, "See, that wasn't so hard," because you'll literally ruin everything. There are moments in which I just want to forget how I feel and not to think about me as a walking mental illness. So please stop associating everything I do with it. If I'm having a nice day, don't talk about my pain. Don't remind me, because it's still there, just hidden, so don't bring that up. It's not obvious that everyone struggles. I'm not lazy. I honest to God don't have energy. Just because I'm not physically doing ritualistic behavior and checking everything, doesn't mean I'm not mentally going over everything in my mind over and over again. Being tired psychologically is just as worse as being tired physically. Do what you love is a useless statement when you don't love anything. Same with what do you enjoy? Or do what makes you happy. If you actually enjoy things or experience happiness, we're on whole different levels. It really just stings when I get garbage like that said to me, like "Thanks for reminding me I can't experience joy or anything close to it." Suicide is not an option people want, but it's an option people will take because it is an option. I'm not sure how many people know this, but eating disorders and starving yourself can often be a form of self-harm, slow deliberate suicide versus actually caring much what your body looks like or what women find attractive. I don't have to be crying 24/7 to still be clinically depressed. Yes, I will have a laugh, smile, and show other emotions from time to time. It doesn't mean I am better or have been just overdramatic. I'm an Iraq veteran with PTSD. Please stop trying to make me talk about that shit. I know you think you mean well, but by trying to coax my demons out for your mere curiosity, you're actually making my distress 1,000 times worse. Same goes for anyone with any degree of PTSD who got it for any reason, such as disaster survivors, war victims, rape survivors especially need to have the boundaries respected. If I want to talk, I will. It may or may not be with you. That's my decision to make. I swear I am trying. My best looks different than yours. Medication is a necessity for some people. If someone you know and love is on medication, do not judge them. Do not tell them to stop taking their meds. Do not tell them that they seem fine and don't need meds. It's their choice. Respect their choice. Likewise, if someone doesn't want medication, no matter how much you think they need it, support their decision. Mental disorders are not always beautiful or sympathetic like you see in the movies. People who have mental disorders will do things that are annoying, scary, disgusting, or disturbing. Don't expect us to behave normally with a small side of sadness. That's not how mental disorders work. And if we do something that doesn't make sense to you, don't tell us you're being crazy. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Of course I'm acting crazy. Did you think mental disorders made people act normal and rational? Your friend that disappears, no calls, no texts, and then shows back up like nothing happened isn't flighty or angry at you. They're depressed. The messed up thing though, is that during their downtime, they were probably worried you were angry at them. Depression is weird like that. Try to at least learn enough about the disorder to identify the signs of depression. Though you may feel unable to help, Just understanding can mean the world to someone who's going through the extreme lows of depressive thought. The best thing you can do is to simply listen to them when they're ready to talk. Suggest meekly that they might need some outside help, if only to plant the idea of recovery, but don't force anything. You're not hosting an intervention. Whatever you do, don't ever encourage someone who's suffering in silence to just cheer up. Definitely don't try to force them to hang out or go somewhere they don't want to be. Most importantly, do not suggest or offer drugs or alcohol to them. In doing so, you may well become partially responsible for your friend's death. I have major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. I care about nothing and everything. I want to stay in bed all day, but my anxiety won't let me. I feel nothing and everything. I want to get nothing done, but everything needs to be done at once, and I can't get things done because it had to be done right now. All of it. I really am smart, but I overthink everything and can't get my words out right, so I dumb. Just because you like to clean or keep things in order does not make you OCD. I'm personally sick of those stereotypes. We all have our problems, or other people have it worse than you. Could not be any less helpful. I love hanging out with you, but I won't tell you because I don't want to pressure you into thinking that you have to be with me because you'd feel bad otherwise. And the reason why I go no contact isn't because I'm trying to avoid you, it's just that my brain has convinced me that you secretly hate me. I truly and desperately don't want to be the way that I am. There's nothing I wouldn't give or that I wouldn't do if it would make the problems stop. Stop romanticizing mental illness. It is not mysterious and sexy. It does not make you unique. It is not a joke. People with mental health issues are good at hiding how they feel. Usually these people use humor to put up with thoughts and feelings. So next time you hear someone joking about depression, they probably have experienced it. OCD is not anything like what you think it is. It's not a preference for order, or a need to clean, or a desire to alphabetize. My mind is broken. It's a handicap. It's not cute. I got called lazy by teachers all the time growing up because I had severe anxiety. It happens frequently with kids who have anxiety or ADD, ADHD. Please quit doing that. Most first graders aren't actually slacker anarchists. I can and do lose weeks to depression. What happens during them? I couldn't tell you. It's a bad day, then it's a bad week, and suddenly it's 3 weeks later and I haven't done anything worthwhile but sit and disappear into a void. Insomnia doesn't help. I can't just go to bed earlier. Often I take hours to fall asleep, and can't stay asleep. When my sleep is poor, the walls come down and the depression rushes in. Benzos help when my sleep problems are anxiety-based. But I don't take them frequently. It's not an addiction I want to deal with. Yes, I'm medicated. Yes, I see a psychologist. Yes, I exercise. Yes, I meditate and work on mindfulness. But I'm fighting an uphill battle and progress is slow and not linear. There is no one quick solution to it, and it frustrates me far more than it will ever frustrate you. There is a difference between experiencing an emotional condition and having a mental disorder. I'm sorry that you got really depressed after your mother died, and I have no doubt that it was a terrible time for you, but that is a normal reaction to a bad situation. Having gone through that is not the same as having suffered depression throughout your life, any more than having eaten a pound of sugar-free gummy bears is the same as having Crohn's disease. I've heard people complain about people with mental disorders bragging or competing about how bad it is. It's not a competition. We're just aware of how many times we've talked to someone who knows what it's like, so we're qualifying. Yes, I have the disorder. If my mental health is becoming a massive pain in the ass to you, then I totally understand you distancing yourself from me. I wouldn't want to have to deal with me either. Very often, the penalty for untreated mental illness is physical illness. A personal example: I'm 29 in a good, middle-class profession. I'm staring at about $10,000 worth of dental work after insurance because of the damage my neglect did to my teeth while I was in denial about my bipolar disorder. This isn't the kind of dental work that exists in the abstract. All of my front teeth are broken and rotten. I have cavities in almost all of my teeth. My wisdom teeth are basically just nubs. My risk of heart disease is significantly higher than the general population as a result. All because I didn't want to get treatment when I had symptoms at 16. Because I wanted a career in the military. I wanted to be normal, so I could follow my dream like all my teachers told me to. Instead, I'm just in constant pain while I try to scrape enough money to at least get my front teeth fixed. Don't judge a book by their cover. You don't know what the story is behind their actions or words. Psychosis does not mean dangerous. Psychotic people are basically no more likely to be violent than neurotypical people as long as you control for other factors, like drug use. The fact that I think I'm dead sometimes, or that mirrors are portals to other dimensions, does not in any way mean that I will hurt you. Also, psychotic people are more likely to be abused than non-psychotic people, often by caretakers. Hi, I'm a schizophrenic. Real quick. Before I get to the point, I want you to know just how bad I was. Just how deep it all went. Delusions. Paranoia. Hallucinations. The whole damn thing. I used to think that I was a demon sent down to earth by Satan to be a part of the impending war between the subversive rebel army of hell and the army of God, whom I considered to be a fascist dictator. And, given that the US is 70% Christian, you can already see where my intense paranoia came from. I literally thought that 70% of my country, including the government, was trying to kill me, and that I couldn't let anyone know about any of this, or they'd catch me. Feeding me these delusions were my gaggle of hallucinations, either reoccurring characters, or just random voices that I found some absurd way to rationalize. One voice in particular was more or less always with me, and was usually only audible not visual, but I did see from time to time, who has affected my life so much that I can attribute a good half of my personality as it is now to her advice. That was my reality. That is what I actually genuinely believed. Believed to the point of hiding in my closet scared to tears. Believed to the point I started bodybuilding. Believed to the point I would browse the dark web looking for others that shared my ridiculous beliefs. I'm currently on strong medication that plus 2 years stuck in intensive therapy has made it more or less stop. Aside from some occasional times where it feels like it's failing, especially with paranoia, that hits me from time to time no matter what. I wanted to say 2 things. First is that we, exist. We're not just something you see in movies. I graduated school and now I hold a full-time customer service job. I am a functioning member of society, not sure how long I'll hold that title. Schizophrenia seems so detached from what people expect others to have, even others they know are troubled. It's like any other disorder. Someone you know could have it, and unless you hear them bare their soul, you might not know. I'm an off-putting person to be around. I'm always moving around, mouthing words or talking quietly to myself. I shake and zone out, and I just generally talk and act off. A nasty mix of OCD, ADHD, but most of those habits began because of my hallucinations and delusions. Nowadays, I mouth words and talk to myself because I'm just so used to it that I can't think as clearly without doing it. But it used to literally be because I was talking to someone. I used to randomly leave rooms because I was paranoid. I would isolate myself. And very occasionally, I would outright say some of the crazy shit in my head, and it creeped people out. But nobody said anything. Nobody ever thought to sit me down and actually genuinely asked about my thought processes. Because nobody ever thinks someone they know, even someone as abnormal as me, would actually be schizophrenic. Like many others I've known, I rarely explicitly told people the crazy shit I believed because I was paranoid. To me, I was on the run and didn't know who I could trust with this information. If someone had said something, if someone had asked about why I did what I did, rather than just dismiss it as me being weird, maybe I could have gotten the help I needed before I ended up the complete wreck I am now. And keep in mind, I'm an obvious case. I'm someone whose signs were more obvious than many others. Some people with less dramatic symptoms, or just people even better at hiding it than I am, you might not be able to tell at all, and you definitely won't be able to tell if you act like it's an impossibility. The second thing I wanted to say, funny I'm saying this despite believing the opposite as a kid, but I am still a person. I've moved on in life. I have hobbies. I have feelings. You should still be aware of the problems I have in case something seems off. But don't act like I'm always on the verge of slashing your throat. I'm not an animal. But should I be allowed to, go outside? Yes. Does me getting mad at you mean I am going delusional? No, you're just a dick. If I'm getting panicky, should you take note of it? Yes. But that doesn't mean treat me like a 6-year-old.